Welcome to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today I'm going to be doing a top 4 fresh out the shower fragrance list, so stay tuned for that. And if you like the content, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Now, I was tagged in this video by none other than the original Dogman, and I decided that I would certainly do this video. He is certainly an interesting character in Fragcom and always has an opinion on whatever's going on, and I will say that can be quite entertaining. So if you don't know who the Dogman is, you can check out his channel. I will leave a link below. The idea of this this video is that it's supposed to be 4 fragrances that you'd put on right after getting in the shower. So clean, invigorating. See, the thing is that I guess for me, the thing is, when it comes to something you put on out of the shower, most fragrances I put on right after a shower. In the case that I go out after work, I usually try and go home and have a shower first, and I'd put on whatever I'm wearing. Same, even something like Black Phantom I would put on right after. But listening to his video, I decided that what I should do to sort of be as true to the topic as possible is to try and have 4 fragrances that give me a sort of invigorating, uplifting kind of a quality to them. Something that really, puts me in a positive space. Something, that also kind of has that clean vibe to it. I chose 2 designer, 2 niche fragrances. I'm going to start with the designer fragrances. And the first one is none other than Bulgari Man Wood Essence. This one I actually smelled the first time in an airport, and as soon as I smelled it, I knew I was going to buy it at some point. I don't like paying retail, so it actually took me almost a year till I ended up picking this one up, because I found it recently, on discounters. You can get this on discounters, and I think this was $42 American, which is a very, very good price for what it is. It's kind of like a, neroli fresh fragrance, fresh woody, kind of like neroli Portofino or 1711, or whatever the name of that fragrance is. But it does last longer than both of those. But the main reason I picked this one is because it's fresh, it's clean, and especially right in the opening, it has a very uplifting feel to me. And that's exactly what I felt the first time I smelled this in the airport. I mean, I'm sure we can all relate to being, or maybe we can't, but if you've been, on an a flight that has layovers, you've been on a 2-3 hour flight, then you have to wait and you just feel yucky or whatever. You maybe even had to get up early, and you go, or at least I go to the fragrance place to sort of just check it out a little bit, see what I can smell. And this one really made me feel good, made me feel uplifted, and I still get that from this one. I still have that, especially on the initial spray, and it does have this nice kind of prickly cleanness that I like to call it. The neroli in it does have a prickly feel to it, so I do enjoy this one. I think at a discounter, I think it is a good value. It does last quite a while. Good one for spring, summer. Very easy to wear. Very mass appealing. Now, the second one is actually from a line that I'm not a big fan of. I know I've mentioned this one a million times. If you watch the channel, you probably know what fragrance this is. This is actually my airport fragrance, or at least that's how I started wearing this one. Because I got a decant of it, and whenever I'd go to the airport, I found this one to be generally not that offensive and not that loud. I didn't want something that's going to be, you don't want to wear something really crazy loud on the airplane, choke other people out. This one is not that loud, but it smells good, it smells fresh, it smells clean, and that is Terre d'Hermès Eau Très Fresh. And this one is great. It also has that uplifting feel to me, that really nice bitter orange in the beginning. To me, the citrus elements are front and center. So where I get a lot more pepperiness, a lot more of the vetiver from Terre d'Hermès, which is okay. I don't really love it. It's not one that I love. That sort of bitter orange is definitely up front, and there is a bit of a earthiness and a woodiness in the background there. And the citrus elements and the bitterness actually last a really long time. In the opening, there is a little bit of an aquatic vibe with that one, and it's only very slight though, so it's not really a full-on aquatic, but there is a little bit of wateriness to go with that citrus. I really love it. It's actually the only one from the line that I actually really love. I do have a sample of the Eau Intense Vetiver, which I do want to try out. Maybe I'll end up liking it after having this one grow on me. But I will say that whatever happens to my opinions with the line, this is the one that really got me into the line, because having smelled the other ones, I was always a little disappointed. Wasn't really that into them. So that is my second designer pick. And I have two others, and one of them, or sorry, they're both niche. This next one, it actually, the first time I wore this, I didn't really like this fragrance, but I did really enjoy the opening, and I think that's one of the reasons that I decided to try it out more. It has this really beautiful citrus blast in the opening. I get a lot of the bergamot and that is in this fragrance, and that is Parfums de Marly Galloway. Really like the bottle. Of course, I do like the presentation for Parfums de Marly. Very classy, very luxurious, but I also like the sort of pearly color here. It makes it look almost like ivory. But this is such a nice, clean fragrance, and it's a little bit different from the house, and I think it is my favorite freshie from the house, though I'm looking forward to trying Sutton. It does sound potentially very good, but some people have said it sounds like it might be an Aventus clone, and if that's the case, I'm not going to be too happy with it. But anyways, this one, very nice. It is peppery. I do find that it does teeter on the edge of being too peppery, so occasionally when I wear it I feel like it's too peppery, but other times it's just the perfect amount of pepper to add a little bit of a zing, a little bit of a twist to it. But it has also a sort of clean, watery vibe. There is iris in it, but the iris to me just comes across as really clean with the muskiness, so it doesn't have that sort of powdery or makeup bag kind of feel that iris can have. It has instead a very clean vibe. And I think from the bergamot get a little bit of a sort of watery type accord that when it mixes with this cleanness, it smells like fresh water to me, which is a fantastic accord. I really wish there were more fragrances that have a really clean, fresh water. Not like a salty ocean water, not like an Aqua de Joe kind of thing, but more like, you know, just a fresh river water or something like that. Because it is just such a beautiful, clean, pleasant, relaxing smell. But anyways, mega performer, beast mode performer, lasts a long time, projects really well, especially for a freshie. That's amazing in my opinion. This one does exceptionally well. So I do like that one a lot. The next one on the list, the last one on the list, also may be no surprise to people who have been watching the channel for a while. It is one of my favorite fragrances. It's actually what I wore today, Canada Day. So I guess you can take that how you want to, but for me, this could be a signature scent if I was ever to have one. It's beautiful. I think it's been hated on a lot, and that is none other than Creed Viking. And I think this one was hated on a lot because a lot of people thought, or you know, it was the next fragrance that came out, the next men's fragrance that came out after Creed Aventus. So people thought this is going to be, you know, an Aventus killer or whatever. And for me, I like it more than Aventus, but I'm not a big fan of Aventus. But in either case, I think it's one of those ones, and I think this is something that Creed faces a lot, is that everything lives in the shadow of Aventus. I think they have much better fragrances other than Aventus, but, you know, that is just my opinion. This one is a really nice, modern, barbershop-esque kind of a fragrance, and I know it's been hated on a lot, although a lot of people are starting to warm up to it, and a lot of people in the community do love it, which is nice to see just because I like it so much. I'm glad other people do enjoy it. I think it is one that is actually fairly easy to wear, but it is a masculine fragrance. It's spicy. It has this mint that gives it a very nice cooling quality, so it's both cold and hot at the same time on this opening. Very, very nicely done. It does really, really remind me of like a barbershop, especially in that opening with that cooling, spicy vibe. It reminds me maybe of something that, you know, you'd be sitting at the barber, they'd be cleaning off the brushes in the disinfectant or whatever it is, and, you know, it's all just got all these smells going on, and this kind of reminds me of that. So it is a nice modern take on that. It does something different while still having a lot of those qualities. It also has a rose in it, which is interesting. So, you know, having a masculine fragrance with rose is not that easy to do, or it's not done that often. A lot of times when things have rose in it, sure, I mean, men can wear them, but they may not be really masculine. To me, this is actually, you know, a very masculine fragrance, and I think it's a beautiful one. And for me, it just makes me feel good when I put it on, especially when I'm in the mood too, when I'm like, yes, this is what I'm wearing today. It has that, it puts that extra zing in my step, and it does have a nice sort of cleanness to it, along with that spicy, fresh kind of a vibe. So for me, These are 4 fragrances that give me a very uplifting feeling that you would want or that you hope to get, especially when you're fresh out of the shower. Something all of them have in common also, there is a cleanness to these fragrances, and there is a bit of freshness there with all of these fragrances. Really do enjoy these ones. So for these fragrances, 3 of them, very good for the spring, summer. I find that this one is much better in the fall as it is quite spicy, but they're all very nice fragrances that you can wear most any occasion. I think this one's a little bit more classy. This is probably my most expensive one, and it is one that I think can be worn up. But these 2 also I think would be suitable for, you know, the office. This one is a very good casual fragrance, but they are all really, really nice. I think very wearable, very likable fragrances. They all have a certain uplifting quality. So anyways, I'm going to tag a couple of people. I'm going to tag Titan fragrances, and I'm going to tag casual fragrances for fresh out the shower fragrances, and leave a comment down below. What are some fragrances you'd put on fresh out of the shower, give you that uplifting feeling, make you feel something special some kind of way? And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.